guys, it's Stephanie here, and I have a process video for you guys today. I get a lot of requests for YouTube process videos. I just try to do more reels over on Instagram. They're just shorter. You know, a lot of us don't have much time. So I just keep them kind of short and sweet over there, and they're also easy to edit. But I've been getting a lot of requests for process videos here, so I've got one for you today. Today we are, for the month of February, we're working through On the Brink with By the Well for God. And this is just kind of one of the little DIY dories that we did a few months back. So I've just been keeping my devotional in here. So I've got it all tucked in here. Some of the made little pockets on the front and on the back side here. So I keep everything together. But today I am going to be journaling one of the verses from, let's see, day 3. Choose Life is the title of it. And this one talks about the story of Cain and Abel. Here, Genesis 4:6-7. Why are you angry, and why has your face fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, and you must rule over it. And it just really, there's so much evil in the world today, isn't there? I mean, everywhere you turn, there's so much of it, and it can really be overwhelming at times. And you do feel like you're just dodging the enemy all the time. You have to be alert and watching. And actually, one of the little cards for the verse we're doing today is watchful. And so it just really resonated with me. And you read a little further down, it says, the picture of sin crouching at the door reminds us of 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober-minded and watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. And that's, you know, we hear a lot about what we welcome into our homes. If you let sin and you let, you know, the evil one into your home, or you welcome it knowingly, it is very hard to get out, and it can just take over. And so that really got me thinking with, you know, we're talking about a lot of different doors here this month, and doors being something at the beginning of a decision, you know, a big decision that happens or something. And just this image of evil waiting outside the door, just waiting for the chance to be let in, for you to give it that opportunity to feed and grow and just take over. And it's scary. And I mean, we do the best we can, and we're not perfect, of course. But so that's what I wanted to journal today, because like I said, it really resonated with me. So, and a lot of the little elements we have this month have a really fun mixed media theme to them. So I was playing around with how I wanted to do my journaling this month, and let me try and grab my book. I have this really large, well, it didn't even fit in the picture. Let me zoom out a little bit. So I have this very big mixed media journal. I like to do a lot of my mixed media in this one. This is the Ranger. I believe it was Dina Wakely. I'm not sure if I said that right. It's an older journal, but it's awesome because, and some of these pages you guys might recognize. It's got a big pocket in the front here. And I've just collected a lot of my mixed media in this book. It's got really nice, big, thick pages. So yeah, I do a lot of mine in here, but I'm thinking I might do a little bit of a smaller scale. This was a really fun mixed media one. This one was for Good Friday. And yeah, lots of pages in this, and they're so nice and thick. So if you're looking for a mixed media journal, I highly recommend this one. I've really enjoyed this. It holds up really well. But like I said, it's really big scale, and mixed media always takes me a little more time. So I think I might go ahead and do some of the journaling in my little junk journal. And if you saw some of my recent posts on Instagram, I've been journaling in this past month too. So I just pull this out random times and journal in it. So like these are some of my recent pages here. And then I've got some older stuff in here like this one. I actually do have a process video on this page back in some of my videos here on YouTube. So you can check that out. So I think I might add to this some more this month. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I kind of bookmarked that. I think I might do a nice little spread here in the middle of the signature. You can see it's one big open page. So I might do it here. So I'm going to play around with some of the materials, see what I want to do. And yeah, so if you're interested in seeing how it turns on or turns out, stick around and follow me through this process video.
So first off, I'm applying some Mod Podge to both sides of the page. Mod Podge, if you haven't used it before, it's kind of like a glue. You just want to apply it to the surface of whatever you're working on, and then you can use it to stick paper or tissue papers, whatever you like down. So here I took some just text, some old book sheets, book pages, tore it up in different shapes, and started placing them on the page. Now, right now, what I'm doing is just building the background. A lot of the stuff I'm adding, you might not even see it in the final piece when I'm finished. I'm really just building texture. So by putting the pieces of pages down, it's adding some texture to the background of what we will be working on top of later. So here I have some various different types of papers. I've got some hymnal pieces, some maps, and by tearing it, it really adds some texture to the back. And then I came in with some of my acrylic paints, shook them up good, applied them to my little paint palette, and I just started sweeping them across the back. And again, this is just adding another set of layer. It's going to add some color. I usually start lighter and then go dark, because if you add, if you go too dark, then you're going to find if something is too dark, you're going to have a little bit more trouble trying to cover it up. So I usually start with some white. Here I did some cream and some grays, and I even started light with the gray because I wasn't quite sure what my end process was going to be here, so I just kind of played around and enjoyed it. So here I'm just going back and forth with the different colors, and then I took a little bit of pink, splattered it throughout there, just worked it in there a little bit, and then dried everything with my heat gun, and then I came in with a pen and just did some squiggles, just had fun with it. No rhyme or reason. A lot of this isn't going to be showing, but it adds some fun texture and things to the background. So I even did some little circles, some little crosses, little bubbles here and there. And like I said, it's just adding to the layers. And then I even took a Sharpie, came in and just did a little bit here and there just to add some variation in thickness of the lines. And then because a lot of the paper that we already did was covered up with the paint, I wanted another layer of some paper pieces on top, just adding to the depth and the texture of the page. So again, ripping the pages. I really like to rip the papers and the washi tapes. It just adds a lot instead of having those harsh cut lines. So I'm just putting down the pieces of paper, and I'm doing it in various different directions. No rhyme or reason, really. I try to balance some things out. I overlap some pieces, have some going vertical, some going horizontal, and it just adds to the piece and makes some variety on your page. So have a little bit of each type of paper speckled around through both of the pages, so the pages are cohesive and they tie together. So I chose these two types to put on the background for here. And then here I came in with my thick body white, because if you use a thick body white acrylic paint, you're going to get better coverage than some of your others. And I didn't want to go too crazy with this, but I just did some little dabbles here and there of the white and then spreaded it out. Some places it's a little thicker than others. I just wanted some variation and some pops. And for some reason, with about all of my art, when you add a little pop of white here and there, it just makes it. I love it. I don't know. So we went in with the white. And then here I took out the mixed media tape. This is really fun. If you haven't tried this before, I highly suggest it. It's really neat. Comes in 3 different thicknesses of width of your tape. And you can stamp on it. You can apply certain types of drying ink on top and it will stay. Watercolor will bead off, but there are some things that will stick to this tape. So what I did is I laid it out on my plastic board so I can get it up easily. And then I took the mixed media stamps and just started stamping different colors, different textures, different directions. I just wanted to make a fun, no rhyme or reason mixed media tape. And the nice thing about this tape is if you don't like what you're doing or how it turns out, you just roll that piece of tape up and throw it away. So you're not locked into having it on your page and then trying to cover it up if you don't like where you put it. So you do what you like, peel it off, and then you can figure out where you like how it looks. So I kind of move it around the page here. I'm like, okay, I don't really like it there, but here looks good. Okay, so then press it down into your page, and because it's pretty see-through, you don't see much of the tape itself. You pretty much only see what you applied to the tape. So it's a fun way to add the texture and the stamps to your page without directly stamping on the page. So that's a little fun tip there. I really like to do it that way. Also, if you try to stamp directly on top of all this texture, you're not going to get a very good image because of all the texture underneath your stamp. It's not a flat surface. So this is a nice way to get those stamps on there too. And then here, like I said, I start light and then I go dark. I come in with my little paint palette, my paint knife, sorry, and then I'm doing some black in the corners. When I'm doing mixed media, I really like the little pops of black and white. And because here we're talking about Satan and the devil just prowling, lurking around outside your door, you know, all the evil in the world, just it's there. Whether you see it or not, it's there, waiting for its opportunity to come in. So I really wanted to have a couple places framing these pages that were much darker. So I wasn't afraid to go too dark here. And then I put some brown paint on my paint palette, and I wanted to do a tree over in this corner. So this paper piece that I chose with the door had a tree off to the side. So I thought hand painting a tree would make a nice way to frame this door, kind of tie the paper piece and the door to my page that I was creating. So I just took some simple acrylic paint, brought it in on the side, tried to make some branches, and then I used 3 different colors of green to create the leaves. Now when you're doing leaves on the tree, you don't want to try to actually paint a leaf shape. You're really just doing kind of abstract little dabs with your paintbrush to suggest where a leaf would be. So here I started with the dark underneath, and then I went slowly lighter and lighter on the top as kind of highlights for the leaves. And then found the placement for my little paper door piece where I wanted to put that, and then I glued that down. And I really feel like the tree framed it nicely. And then I have this little piece of paper here where I typed with my typewriter the Bible verse that we were doing for these pages. And I put it in, this is a piece of paper that I dyed myself, put it in my typewriter, typed it out, and then added the little hole punch sides to make it look a little worn and glued it in there. And then to kind of hold it down really good and add a little more pop, I wanted to add a little piece of tape on top. And this is actually clear sticker paper that I covered with ink to look like a vintage piece of tape. And everything comes together, and I really love how it turned out. When I do mixed media, you really never know, but you just keep going and you work it until you're happy with what you got. So I hope you guys enjoyed this process video. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'm happy to help. Leave me a comment below, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.